What's up guys, Chris here, and today I'm going to be doing a crazy Jordan 5 custom. It's on a colorway that is Golden State Warriors inspired in my opinion, and that's not really my cup of tea. I don't know what you like, but that's not my thing. So I'm going to be fixing that colorway and turning it into the shoe that Jordan Brand should have gave us years ago. Let's get started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so to kick off this custom, we're going to be doing a little bit of prep work. All we're going to need are some cotton balls. We're going to dip that in a little bit of acetone or a nail polish remover, and we're going to wipe off all the old paint from the midsole so we have a brand new slate to do our custom on. Make sure not to get any acetone on the suede, and you should be good. So as you can see, our midsoles are nicely prepped. So step 2 is going to be taping up the midsoles. I'm going to be using black electrical tape for the midsoles. It has really strong adhesive, so it sticks really well. But for the uppers and the suede, I'm going to be using blue painter's tape. The reason why I'm using two different types of tape is because the electrical tape's adhesive is so strong that it can actually damage the suede or leave adhesive on it. So that's why I'm using the blue masking tape. So now that we've got all of our taping done, I'm going to be moving on to the funnest part of this custom, and that's going to be the actual painting. For this, I'm going to use some Angelus black paint, and I'm going to be doing a 50-50 ratio of that and Createx Colors Adhesion Promoter. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I've been raving about this product for the past 2 years. You basically add it to your paint and it makes it super sticky to help with preventing paint cracking and peeling in the future. Also, you can use this mix and apply it with a paintbrush, but in this case, I'm going to be using an airbrush to help me get lighter and more even coats. If you're interested in grabbing any of the materials I'm using in this video, I'm leaving all the links for the cheapest prices available down below in the description box. So check that out and let's get started. So this is what it looks like after about 3 solid coats of black paint. It has that nice buttery finish. Now let's head on to the next portion of this custom. So I can't just apply tape over this freshly painted midsole because when I rip the tape off, it's gonna peel my paint along with it. So listen closely, my customizers and my restorers. I'm actually going to apply a layer of finisher over the black paint. This way, when I peel the tape off, it's attached to the layer of finisher and not to my fresh black paint, so it won't peel off. For this, I'm going to be using some Angelus matte finish, and I'm going to want a more of a flat finish, so I'm going to add a few drops of duller in there as well. Now that that's done, I'm once again going to do a 50-50 ratio with Angelus white paint and some Createx Colors adhesion promoter. Then I'm going to load it into my airbrush and hit it with some light coats. Okay, now that we've carefully removed all of the tape from the midsole, now we're going to handle the shark teeth. For this step, I'm going to be using some Angelus royal blue paint and a detail brush to paint the tips of the shark teeth blue. So for this step, I'm going to be using Candle Chem Black dye. You've seen me use it on this channel before. It's basically the strongest dye I've ever used. And I'm going to be dyeing the solid colored rubber black, and then I'm going to paint over that with the same black paint mix that I used earlier for the midsoles. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because when you paint the bottom of a shoe, when you wear it outside, it's gonna chip off the paint and it's gonna look horrible. That's why I don't usually recommend painting the bottoms. But if you stain it black first, when the black paint chips off, no yellow is gonna show because it's stained black. So that's the mindset that I'm using and the technique that I'm using right now. Once you're done applying your dye to the surface, you're going to want to wipe off all of the extra dye with some cotton balls and acetone and then paint it. So this is what we're working with right now, guys. I think it looks great so far. I really think that as soon as I painted the eyelets black, it really brought the whole custom together. But for the next step, I'm gonna be using the same finisher mix that I used earlier on the midsoles, and I'm gonna be using that on the white and blue portions of the midsole that I didn't spray with finisher yet. Now for the painted rubber parts and the painted plastic parts, I'm gonna be using Raleigh Restoration Scratch Resistant Sealer. It's too thick to go through my airbrush, so I recommend mixing it with some water if you want to thin it out. And then the reason why I'm using this is because it's more heavy duty and scratch resistant than the Angelus finisher, but the downside is it's not quite as flexible, which is why I don't recommend it for midsoles, but it's great for hard parts that don't move, like rubber and plastic. Okay, so I'm just gonna use these cordless clippers I had lying around, and I'm gonna give Jordan a quick fade real quick, just a 1.5 with the grain. I hope he tips me, but I don't like this furry stuff on the Jumpman, so I'm gonna cut it off real quick. So let's get to that. Okay, so we're gonna once again use some flat black paint straight out the bottle, and we're gonna paint the Jumpman on the tongue. Okay, so for the next step, I'm going to be painting the yellow sock liner. For this, I'm going to be once again using flat black. I'm going to be mixing the paint, so my ratio is going to be 50% flat black and then 50% GAC 900. Now I'm using the GAC 900 because it's just going to help to keep the paint on the sock liner nice and soft, and it's not going to let it get hard and rough. And then on top of that, I'll be using a few drops of duller because that's going to help get rid of that glossy look that you'd get if you didn't use it. So once you're done applying paint to the sock liner, you want to let it dry for a day or two and then come back with the heat gun and heat set it. So basically just warm it up with the heat gun, move it around a little bit. If you see a little bit of smoke puff up, that's fine, but don't hold the heat gun in the same spot for too long because you will burn a hole in your shoes. Now I'm going to use a 50% mix of royal blue with a 50% mix of GAC 900 and a few drops of duller once again. Honestly, if you've gotten this far in the video, you already know what the deal is. And I'm going to be painting the embroidered 23 on the side of the shoe blue. Okay, so just a quick tip for anyone that noticed me painting over the air bubble. You can paint over it and then just scrape it off with an X-Acto knife or a toothpick. And if there are any remnants left, you can take a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol and just wipe off any smudges. It leaves it looking pretty clean in my opinion. But all the steps are done, guys, and in my opinion, these came out fantastic. Okay guys, so we're all done here. I hope you learned something, and if you didn't, I hope you were at least entertained. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this custom. In my opinion, this is one of the best customs I've done, in my opinion, just because it fits my taste. The Raging Bull 5s are my favorite pair of Jordan 5s ever, and I've been waiting for Jordan Brand to drop a blue version, and they haven't done it yet. At least they haven't done it the right way. So your boy made it himself. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this video. If you really like watching videos like this, remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram at Chris Custom Kicks, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.